Hello, I'm Derek Paxton, Game Director for Endless Legend 2. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the Voice of the People update. My favorite part of this update is the public opinion changes. I know it doesn't sound very exciting. Public opinion is the system between players, the attitudes between players that tracks if they like you or hate you based on if you trespassed in their lands, or if you attacked their armies or burnt down one of their cities. And it sounds like it's not a very interesting system, but it's really important to being able to play with the AI and making them feel organic and real. In prior versions, they would have a negative opinion of you if you trespass in their lands. They might get -4 for 30 turns because of it, or -10 for 30 turns if you burnt down one of their camps. But after it expired, it was gone. It was erased. There was no memory in the game. So we added memory for the AI players. So now, with this update, if you trespass in their lands, you may still get that -4 for 30 turns. But if you trespass repeatedly, they keep track of that. And if it goes on for too long, they will permanently remember that. And it will last throughout the entire game. So even if you get into the late game, if you burnt a bunch of their camps in the early game, they will still remember. You may have an alliance with them, you may have treaties, you may have made up with them, they may be an ally now, but there's some part of them that still remembers the fact that in the early game, 200 turns ago, you burnt down 6 of their camps. And that'll make it a little bit harder to be able to form alliances with them, to get treaties with them, or a little bit more expensive when you're looking at influence costs to be able to make them do what you want to do. This is really important because in the prior versions, players learned how to exploit the AI. They would do whatever they wanted to the AI, and then they would just let it alone for 30, 40 turns, and they would know the AI would forget everything that they just did. All the horrible things that they did in burning down cities and killing armies and saying terrible things about the AI's mother would all be forgotten after 30 turns. But now, those big events, if it happens frequently enough, will be remembered. It's also nice to make the AI feel more organic and situational. Real humans remember what you did if it was big enough. So if you burnt down a bunch of their cities, that's going to affect the way that the game plays out for the entire game. The second big change that we have coming in this update is with the Kin of Sheredyn. We've revamped them. The Kin of Sheredyn is our most played faction, especially by new players. They are our defensive builders, and we want them to have a lot of strength and power around building their fortified cities. We want them to be the best in the game at digging into a territory and making sure once they are turtled in, they cannot be moved. They're not necessarily as great about spreading out and taking over the entire map, but once they're there, they're hard to get rid of. And we've added some mechanics to support that. The biggest one is they're now the only faction in the game that has level 3 districts. So as you invest in their cities, their districts get better and better. Every other faction goes up to level 2, they go to level 3, and they get additional bonuses from their districts for that. So consolidating into fewer, bigger cities is a good strategy for the Kin. But we also took something away from the Kin in this update. They used to have forums, and they no longer do. Forums are a district that produces influence. And without that, they have less influence to do things like take new territories, create diplomatic treaties, build new camps. So it's a little harder for them to spread. Instead of being able to get influence through forum districts, they now get influence through level 2 and level 3 districts. So the bigger you make your cities, the more advanced your cities get, the more influence you have, and you can grow. You just can't do it as broadly as other factions can. Influence is also used to build foundations, but we made another change to the Kin around keeps. This is the defense personified, so it is key for the Kin strategy. And the Kin's keeps do 2 special things. One, they update the levels of adjacent districts by 2 instead of just 1, which makes it really great for them to be able to hit their level 3 districts. And 2, they produce free foundations around them. So be very strategic about where you put your districts, either to boost the surrounding districts or to get those free foundations so that you can grow your cities without having to spend influence for them. Another big change that's coming in this update are Anomaly Districts. Anomalies are beautiful tiles on the map that give great bonuses when the game starts. You really want to found your cities by them. But by the mid-game, these bonuses aren't as good as your normal districts that you have once they receive all kinds of bonus and modifiers. So they just didn't feel special anymore. So now we're introducing a tech to the mid-game that allows you to upgrade these anomaly districts to make them into gardens to showcase them in your cities. So they look beautiful and add to your cities. We get to highlight those great graphics, as well as making sure that they feel special throughout the entire game. This is a feature that we had in Endless Legend 1, and lots of players of Endless Legend 1 asked for this to come back, so we brought it back to Endless Legend 2 for them. We also added a new panel to the game, the army panel. So you can click that, see a list of all of your armies, and dig into all the details, where they are, how strong they are, each of the individual units, and you can see what you have available to you when you have issues come up, like a war being declared on you from the necrophage, or if there's a quest that you want to complete, it should be quick to come in here and see where your armies are so you can decide who you want to send there, or if they're almost dead and you need to pull them back, can be easily done through the army panel now. We've also added controller support. So just plug in your game controller and see how it is. We want players that want to be able to relax on their couch and play with just a controller in hand. And we'd love to get feedback from you on what works for you, if you like it, if there's a particular screen that's kind of tedious to work with, or if you don't. So please let us know as we try to work out all of the little interface issues to make sure that it's a smooth experience and just as fun to play with a controller as it is mouse and keyboard. Beyond that, we have a host of bug fixes and balance changes like we do in every update. And we are still hard at work on future updates that are to come. Some of the big things that are currently in progress and are going to come in future updates are writing updates. We heard you talk about how you wanted a writing update on the game, pulling in a little bit of the legacy of Endless Legend 1, which highlights more art. It has a higher level story for the game. We are working on that to come out in a future update, as well as district scaling costs, which in some places we've heard you say that you're getting trapped where you really can't invest in your city anymore because the scaling costs have gotten so high. So we're seeing what we can do on our end to resolve that, to make that better, so that in a future update we can get that for you and fix that problem. In the meantime, keep the updates, keep the feedback coming, and we will keep producing the updates. And thank you for watching.